Dear students, today we will be continuing the endocrine system only, that is of third chapter. In the endocrine system, we learned different glands. The glands which we learned are, one is pancreas, then we learned about the thyroid gland, different hormones and defects related with the glands, that is pancreas and thyroid gland. Today we will continue on the basis of the last class only. Last class we were discussing on the control of calcium, level of calcium in blood. The level of calcium in blood is 9 to 11 mg, and this is controlled by two hormones, that are calcitonin and parathyroid. Calcitonin and parathyroid are the two hormones which are controlling the level of calcium. Let us see how this calcitonin and parathyroid controlling the level of calcium. I hope you know the glands which are producing hormone calcitonin and parathyroid. Calcitonin is produced by thyroid gland and parathyroid is produced by parathyroid gland, and parathyroid gland is situated behind the thyroid gland. Here the yellow colored part is parathyroid gland, and parathyroid gland produces parathyroid. This was the point we last discussed in the class. We will continue that. Here see the illustration. Here you can see the level of calcium in blood, that is 9 to 11 mg per 100 ml. Let us see how the level is controlled by both the hormone, that are calcitonin and parathyroid. When the level of calcium increases means if it go above 11 mg, normal level is 9 to 11 mg per 100 ml in blood. Okay, when it increases, the circumstance to increase the calcium level is when we consume more calcium, when there is more calcium in the blood, presence of more calcium in the blood. Naturally we get calcium through the food which we eat. Okay, when it increases in the blood, thyroid gland secretes calcitonin. Thyroid gland secretes calcitonin when the calcium level increases in the blood. Then it controls the level of calcium by different ways. What are the means of controlling? How the calcitonin is controlling? Prevents the process of mixing of calcium from bones to blood. Then stores the excess calcium from blood to bones. Here, these are the two ways by which calcium is controlled by calcitonin. Prevents the process of mixing of calcium from bones to blood. Normally, when there is level of calcium is low in the blood, calcitonin or the body, normally the body bring back the calcium from bones. You know that bone is the storage of calcium. In bone there are large amount of calcium is present. If there is less calcium in blood, from bones it will come back to blood. Here what the calcitonin do? Prevents the process of mixing of calcium from bones to blood. The movement of calcium from bones to blood will be preventing by calcitonin when there is increase of calcium in blood. This is the point. Okay, when there is more calcium in the blood, it will not allow to come back the calcium from bone to blood. Prevents the process of mixing of calcium from bones to blood. So the calcium level will be controlled, one way. The second way is stores the excess calcium from blood to bones. The excess calcium in blood, it will be stored to bones. It will be removed to bone, from blood to bone. Okay. This is the way how it helps in case of increase of blood. When there is decrease of calcium in blood, when it goes below 9 mg, normally is 9 to 11 mg. When it decreases, the gland, parathyroid gland, produce or secretes parathermone. Parathyroid gland secretes parathermone when the level of calcium decreases. And let us see how it controls, how the process happens. Reabsorbs calcium from kidney to blood. Here the level of calcium is low in the blood, then naturally the blood need more calcium. To get more calcium, the one of the way is reabsorb calcium from kidney to blood. Normally when there is excess calcium in the blood, or when during the filtration of blood by the kidneys, there is a possibility to remove the calcium through urine. Through urine there may be removal of calcium. That is why it is mentioned kidney. Reabsorb kidney from kidneys, calcium from kidneys. Reabsorb calcium from kidneys to blood. After filtration there may be calcium in the kidney. That calcium will be reabsorbed by parathermone. So naturally the level of calcium increases in blood. Secondly, prevents the storage of calcium in bones. Prevents, stops the or slow downs the storage of calcium in bones. The calcium, normally when there is calcium excess or when there is calcium in the blood, it will naturally stores in the bones. This will be prevented when there is lower level of calcium in the blood. This is the way how calcium is controlled by calcitonin and parathermone. Okay. I hope you understood how the calcium level is controlled. Calcium level is 9 to 11 mg per 100 ml. Hope you remember the level of sugar in the blood. What is the level of sugar in the blood? 70 to 110 mg per 100 ml. Calcium is 9 to 11 mg per 100 ml. Comparative study is always required. Sugar is controlled by insulin and glucagon. Calcium is controlled by calcitonin and parathermone. Okay. Then we will continue. There is an assignment. You complete this table. The table shown in the screen. Okay. The gland, hormone and function are given. The glands which we learned is pancreas, thyroid, parathyroid. You make a table in the notebook. Then disorder related. Disorder which we learned to the present is diabetes, cretinism, myxedema and goiter. Reason and symptom. Okay, this you have to make it in the notebook. We will continue with the next gland. Next gland is Thymus gland. Here see the location. I told you when we learn about any gland, the main points which we have to learn is location, hormone and function. Okay. Then see the thymus gland. Location is situated behind the sternum. This is the location behind the sternum. You learned about sternum. This is in the chest only. Okay. Thymus is an endocrine gland situated behind sternum. Then let's see the hormone is thymosin. Hormone is thymosin. See the functions. What are the function of this thymosin. Major function of thymosin is to control activities and maturation of T lymphocytes, which help to impart immunity. Okay, this hormone is produced by thymus gland. Hormone is thymosin, controls the activities of maturation of T lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are blood cells providing immunity. Okay, the maturation of T lymphocytes is the role of thymosin. Okay, this is the function of thymus gland, maturation of T lymphocytes. Maturation of T lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, I am not going to the detail of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are one of the WBCs, white blood cells present in our body, helping for immunity, imparting immunity. Okay. Then otherwise this hormone is called as youth hormone also. There is a name for this hormone, another name is youth hormone. Why it is known as youth hormone? The activities and maturation of T lymphocytes mainly during infancy stage. This gland is very active during infancy. Okay, but constrict as we reach puberty. When we reach puberty, this gland constricts, and the hormone activity is mainly happening during infancy stage. So the gland is known as youth hormone. Hormone is known as youth hormone. The function is maturation of T lymphocytes, helping for immunity, and mainly it is happening during infancy stage. So it is known as youth hormone. This is all about thymus gland. Okay, then we will go to the next gland. Next gland, we will see the location once again. We learned pancreas, thyroid, thymus. Then we will learn the adrenal gland. See the location of adrenal gland. You can see the kidneys. We have pair of kidney. Above the kidney, it is situated. You can see this location. You can see above the kidney. Okay, this is the location of the gland, adrenal gland. This is a highlighted figure of adrenal gland. Adrenal gland will be above the kidney, both kidneys. We have two kidneys, and on both kidneys there is gland. When we see the section of adrenal gland, there are two parts, medulla and cortex, inner medulla and outer cortex. Both this part are producing different hormones. We will see that. Okay, this is the location above the kidney, and let us see the function. Adrenal gland having parts, sections, medulla and cortex, inner medulla and outer cortex. The inner medulla produces hormone epinephrine and norepinephrine. These are the two hormones produced by medulla of adrenal gland. Adrenal gland located above the kidney, and it is having medulla, inner medulla and outer cortex. Medulla produce two hormones, epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine is otherwise known as adrenaline, and norepinephrine is otherwise known as noradrenaline. Epinephrine and norepinephrine are the two hormones produced by medulla. Let us see the function of epinephrine. Epinephrine acts along with sympathetic nerve system during emergency. This is an emergency hormone. We learned the sympathetic system in the first chapter. When we learn the nervous system, we learn the sympathetic system. Sympathetic system helps in helping our body to cope up with the emergency situation. Whenever our body require more energy, when we do hazardous works, when we do laborious works, sympathetic system helps to maintain the body. Okay. Along with sympathetic system, epinephrine also works. Whenever our body require more energy or whenever we meet an emergency situation, along with sympathetic system, sympathetic nervous system, this adrenaline or epinephrine. Okay. How this is helping? This is to resist or withdraw ourselves for such situation. Suppose heartbeat have to be increased. During emergency, heartbeat should increase. To increase the heartbeat and to bring back the heartbeat to normal. Okay, these are the two resist or withdraw means. Resist or withdraw means whenever we have an emergency, an example, heartbeat increases during emergency. This is an activity happening during emergency. For that, sympathetic system helps. Along with sympathetic system, epinephrine or adrenaline. The adrenal gland produces epinephrine. That epinephrine helps to increase the heartbeat and to bring back to normal also, both cases. Okay, this is what it means. Then the function is, in short, along with the sympathetic system helps during emergency, and this helps to resist or withdraw from emergency situations. Then another hormone produced by norepinephrine is, it acts along with epinephrine. It works along with the epinephrine. When the epinephrine helps to increase the heartbeat, this helps along with and helps to make it normal. When it after increase of heartbeat, it should become normal. This will be done by norepinephrine. Okay, this is an emergency hormone also. These are the two important hormones produced by medulla. Then let us see the cortex. Adrenal gland is having second part named cortex. Cortex are having three hormones. Three hormones are produced by cortex. One is cortisol. Second is aldosterone. Then third is sex hormones. These are the three main hormones produced by cortex of adrenal gland. Let us see one by one. Cortex. What is the function of cortex? What is the function of cortisol? Cortex produce cortisol. It synthesizes of glucose from protein and fat. This is one of the role of cortisol. Synthesize glucose from protein and fat. From protein and fat, it helps to synthesize glucose. This is one of the function. This is not the main function. This is one of the function. Then slow down the action of defense cells. Controls inflammation and allergy. Here if you go through this point, there are many things behind it. One is glucose from protein and fat. There is insulin and glucagon to control glucose. Okay, you should remember that. Here cortisol also synthesize glucose from protein and fat. Then slow down the action of defense cells. What is this defense cells? Defense cells means the cells which are preventing or avoiding the germs entering in our body. Defending. Pradrodhikya. Okay. Defense, slow down the defense. Normally our body needs defense. Why it should slow down? In some circumstance, if there is extra defense, it will affect our body. Example, we have a wound or something in our body anywhere. There will be swelling. This is defense. This is a kind of defense. If it exists for a long, if the swelling is existing for a long, it is not comfortable to our body. Here, in such cases, it have to slow down. The defense should slow down. The defense is slowing down. The slowing down of defense is done by cortisol produced by cortex. Then controls inflammation and allergy. Inflammation means neervikam, inflammation. Then allergy, allergy. Okay, some kind of allergy will be there in our body. Here, when something goes to our eye, there is reddishness in the eye. Or if any dust enter in our body, there will be continuous cough will be there. This is a kind of allergy, producing extra mucus by entering dust in our body. If there is dust enters through the nostril, there will be continuous cough and sneezing will be there. This is a kind of allergy. This kind of allergy is controlled by cortisol. Okay. Then another hormone, aldosterone, maintains salt water level by acting in kidney. Aldosterone maintains salt water and salt level by acting in the kidney. Here, why it is kidney? During the filtration of blood, the excess components in the blood will be removed by kidney. There, the level of water and salt which are removed through urine is controlled, and it will be brought back to blood by aldosterone. Then maintains blood pressure. This maintains blood pressure as well. Okay, aldosterone. Then there are sex hormones produced by cortex, controls development and function of sex organs. We will learn the gonads, the main sex glands later. Other than this main gland, cortex also produce sex hormones in male and female. We will learn in detail about the sex glands when we learn the gonads, testis and ovary later. Okay, these are the hormones produced by adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, I will brief once again, produce adrenal gland having two parts, medulla and cortex. Medulla produce epinephrine and norepinephrine, cortex cortisol, aldosterone and sex hormone. And I told you the function. Epinephrine and norepinephrine are emergency hormones. These are emergency hormones. Why it is emergency hormone? There may be questions like why the adrenaline and noradrenaline, or epinephrine and norepinephrine, known as emergency hormones. Okay. This is all about adrenal gland. Go through the text as well, then you will get more detail of that. Then we will see the next gland, that is pineal gland. Pineal gland, location at the center of the brain. You can see in the figure. Pineal gland produce a hormone named melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone produced by pineal gland. Then function is maintain rhythm of daily activities. Here this gland is known as biological clock. Why it is called biological clock? Because it maintains rhythm of daily life. What do you mean by rhythm of daily life? Rhythm of daily life means we have regular routine. We are getting up at a particular time. We are sleeping at a particular time. We are doing some particular things regularly. Our body having some regular activities. Rhythm will be there. When we practice something, it will be a rhythm to our body. Okay. a person is getting up at 5 o'clock. Normally if it is getting at 5 o'clock, if you don't want to sleep also, or if you want to sleep also, you will get up at 5. Okay, this is a rhythm, and this rhythm is controlled by pineal gland, and the hormone is melatonin, and this is known as biological clock also. Okay, the production of melatonin, normally it is high at night and low during day. That is why we are getting proper sleep. When there is more melatonin, we will get proper sleep. Okay, then there are some questions related to it. I will give you that. Once again I will summarize this. Pineal gland at the center of the brain produce hormone melatonin, and activities maintain rhythm of daily activities. Whatever daily activities regularly we do, it is controlled by pineal gland. That is why it is known as biological clock. Then you take the assignments related to these parts: position and part of adrenal gland, hormonal actions that overcome emergency situations. There is adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, then hormone produced by cortex and their function. Cortex, which are the hormone produced by cortex. Then how does the presence of melatonin influence sleep and waking up? These are the assignments you have to do. Okay, now we learn the glands. Which are the glands we learn now? First we learn pancreas, then thyroid gland, then we learn thymus gland, then adrenal gland as well. These are the glands which we learned. We have to complete some more glands. You make a summary of all these glands and learn it well. Go through the text, and you can listen the videos which I have sent you earlier also. Okay, thus we wind up for today. Complete the assignments and put it in your notebook. Okay, always you revise the previous, compare the different glands. Okay, thyroid gland, pancreas, thymus, always you should have a comparative study. Then only you will be able to remember the name of hormones, otherwise it will confuse. Okay, anyway, we will wind up for today. Thank you for listening.